Avalanche. Let's get into what could be causing and maybe setting Avalanche up for an interesting move, not only in the market, but maybe in their roadmap going forward. Lots happening around this chain. We're going to dive in deep. Again, my name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. But first, let's get into a word from our sponsors. If you're into blockchain gaming, or maybe you're just trying to start your exploration in Web3, this is your one-stop shop, because everything from music to film, all of that available over at Gala Games. You can just jump over to their website, check out the game section. They've got everything from Superior, Spider Tanks. We've dropped a lot about that. Townstar, one of the more popular ones. Fortitude coming soon, and many, many more, including Battlestar Galactica. Don't forget Grit and some of the others that are really some of these graphical phenomenons. But just check them out. Just go to gala.games or games.gala.com. All right, so let's jump into it today, and I want to kind of focus in on a couple of areas here that I think you need to pay attention to very closely. This first story is, we'll say the good or go the bad route, and then we'll say some of the good stuff that is going on within the AVAX chain, and also from the strategies around it. But AVAX slips a little bit. Grayscale, of course, dumped Avalanche from their large cap fund, and they ended up buying some other, traditional projects out there. Ethereum, ADA, MATIC, and even Solana was purchased. Again, strategy-wise, okay, I'm okay with that if you're a fund trader and those kind of things happen. But when I look at what is happening right now with Avalanche, to me, this is kind of Avalanche's Reddit moment, as if, in the sense of what MATIC has had, or Polygon. But anyway, Avalanche and Shopify now are joining forces to enable merchants to create eco-friendly digital collectibles. Basically, it's going to give them a whole new layer using the Venly product to really kind of change up how digital assets and digital collectibles could start to play into the Avalanche ecosystem and also through Shopify. So this is pretty big news. If you look further into the website, let me kind of just show you this from CoinSpeaker. They added support for the Avalanche NFTs. A couple of things they focused in on. Shopify merchants now can mint and or list their NFTs through their storefronts using the platform's blockchain apps. Venly, merchants do not need to refer clients to popular, dedicated marketplaces like OpenSea, so this becomes its own marketplace. And they can instead actually use Venly to mint the NFTs on Avalanche. So this is all, I think, a very good strategy for Shopify. And this is one of the things that we've talked about here on this show and our Metaverse Insider show a lot. And that is that the future of how NFT integration into business and use cases is the key to make mass adoption start to work. Now, Reddit was one good tool. This may be a much bigger deal for Avalanche than I think a lot of people right now are expecting. If you look further in this article, it says the growing blockchain ecosystem demonstrates our commitment to supporting merchants as they sell NFTs directly through their storefronts. This shows commitment to me from the team over there at Shopify. And because of that, again, it goes back to the point of you're getting into mass adoption. Shopify is a highly used product set. It's probably one of the fastest growing companies out there. And they have the capability of really affecting a lot of retail acquisition. So right here it is, Shopify unlocking the power of your brand's community, connect with your friends, drive sales, giving token holders exclusive access to your merch, experiences, and more. So they themselves are also moving into how this solution can work. So just connect your wallet, unlock next level shopping experiences, boom, you got it right there. Create token gated experiences for your community, interesting. Mint and sell your brand's NFTs, all available over there. I'm kind of curious, guys, when you look at this and you think about the success that MATIC had with Reddit and the growth we started to see in execution for Polygon, do you feel like Avalanche is maybe going to go down this track? And we're going to show you some charts and take a look at some of this. And there's some other derivatives around this that I think play into this. But I'd love to get your feedback. Drop some comments down below. Make sure and hit the like button too, because when we do these kind of breakouts for you, is this something you like? Do you like these deep dive researches on projects like Avalanche and others? And if you have others that you are interested in us doing some deep dive on, drop it in the comments below. All right, so let's take a look at the Venly market. Normal, but the point is that the tool set is here. Right here, as you can see, sell NFTs in your Shopify store. You can do Avalanche and or Polygon, both great. And this, I think, is going to continue to be, as I said, one of the key things about us seeing NFT adoption, but more importantly, is crypto adoption into mainstream and making it more aware in a lot of the layers that really can kind of start to grow and build the potential for some of these assets to really grow. If you look at their app store within Shopify, you can kind of flow down in here, and there it is, the NFT Minter. Pretty amazing that it's already seeing this kind of activity within the ecosystem. So that for Shopify is a good sign. If this starts to move up the ranks and we start to see more and more, notice over there you had Single also, which was music NFTs and video. So this is going to get big in a very, very fast way. You've heard me talk about this in retail applications. We did a video probably a month or a month and a half ago on Starbucks and what the implementation there was. This is now getting down into kind of Main Street merchants. And I think this is the important thing because there's so many of those that could play into this in the future. I think we're going to see a lot of people starting to implement solutions that really do solve use case scenarios for NFT. And this has been the killer app that we've been talking about. Listen to this clip right here from Shopify and how some of these these applications have been used.
But the twist and genius behind Big Face Coffee was simultaneously dropping a custom-made NFT box featuring limited edition artwork and the origin, class, score, region, variety, process, farm, and flavor notes, plus the outlet reports of his coffee blends. That was a lot. He priced this at $500 and the boxes sold out almost as quickly as they were released. What was thought to be a great marketing tool for his product also brought in some much welcomed revenue. He paired his in real life products with digital assets. Another inspiring story is Mark.
Boom, paired in real life products with digital assets. And again, this is a thing that we've talked about here so often here on the show is this is the killer app. Forget overpriced JPEGs. Forget those kinds of things. If you're producing a product, a service, something that is of value to your audience, your members, your whatever it might be, the likelihood is there's going to be a utility use case for and how an NFT can be integrated this. And I think this will be kind of this next phase of growth that we see in the space. So Avalanche is in a pretty good spot. Look at the projection here on tokenized market classes by volume and what this might look like over the next few years. And if you think about how the growth potentially here is for percentage of tokenized GDP on the blockchain, look at this. I mean, right now, here we are in 2022, it was around 2.5%. This is almost going to double here in 23, 5.5, and this is likely underperforming. 7% by 25, 8.5, almost 9. My guess is we're going to probably see high double digits here in growth by 2027, which is really just about 4 to 5 years away. This to me is the nirvana of what blockchain and crypto technology is really built around. Now, sure, Bitcoin is a different angle and it's a different animal. But when you get into how use cases from a technology standpoint can start to create new experiences, new use cases around products and services, this is really the dynamic I think that the market has been missing for quite some time. Well, I should say some time. They've never had it. You know, we've never seen these kinds of abilities really kind of flowing into this. Here's further into what Venly was talking about, discover what St. John Nahas from Ava Labs thinks about the future of the economy. I want you to listen to this clip right here because this also plays into why this is such a fast-growing area.
Really want to onboard the next billion users into the Web3 economy, it's going to have to be retail, right? It's going to have to be the mass market. And the mass market needs two things. A conduit, so brands that they trust and believe in that issue these assets. And secondly, an easy way to do so, right? Like an easy on-ramp. It's hard for a typical person to buy crypto, send it to a web wallet or a mobile wallet, go mint an NFT, et cetera, et cetera.
Retail is the gateway. And this is something we've talked about, many times. Again, Starbucks, I think, was kind of one of the key points there. But there's been a lot of work that's being and has been done over this past year to be able to put Reddit in play, to be able to put Shopify in play. Likelihood is we're going to see a lot more of these kinds of marketplaces moving in this direction. My guess is we're probably going to start to see a lot of integration into web services out there, whether it's companies like Squarespace, others like that have these massive audiences that are creator types that have the capability of integrating into something of this nature in a very easy way. Further, if you look into AVAX just in general, and let me kind of zoom in on this for you a minute, and what I want to focus on here obviously is Polygon, obviously is the big portion of activity right now in terms of total value. But the reason is because Polygon has done a really good job on bridging that gap into retail. And that has been, to me, has been one of the key elements that Polygon has been able to achieve in a very short period of time. And I think they're going to continue down this track because there's so much available there. But Avalanche might be a sleeper here that could be coming alive. And this is one I'm watching very closely. I've been a fan of Avalanche for all of last year. We just started trading in and out of it at a period because I felt like we weren't seeing enough activity. And guess what? Avalanche's team decided to just kind of uncover really everything that they're doing. So good for them. They see positive moves from its DEX scenario because it's not just a one-hit wonder here on the NFT side. Look at other things around what Avalanche is moving into. And if you think about what they basically said here, despite these agreements, the native token of the company, AVAX, had not been able to really rally past its level since April. This is one of the things and reasons that we still track Avalanche, by the way, on the CPI. But they launched initially as a standard DeFi platform, and then they introduced, this is on Trader Joe, and then introduced other services such as lending, leveraging, and all that. And remember, Joe has started to pop a little bit here again, within what we're seeing around these DEXs. So more and more strategies being uncovered here for Avalanche. You can kind of see what they say here. Avalanche-based Trader Joe, now to expand on the BNB chain. By this date, this again was another problem that Joe had, was being able to get to trading it, and now going into the BNB chain makes it a little bit easier to access. So good for them on that. You also have crypto whales now paying close attention to what's happening on GMX. And HedgeUp, and obviously on MATIC. If you look at GMX, obviously a DEX out there built on the Avalanche ecosystem. This is kind of the key component. Trading volume still doing pretty significant, and total users definitely something that will continue to grow. So I'd love to see this number as we start to see GMX kind of grow over a period of time. Another thing I want to hit on here is how some people are looking at this as a really good potential. And this is our friend over at Invest Answers. And basically, James talked about that GMX has a pretty significant performance record against Bitcoin. Let me zoom in on that. When we do the double, it's hard for you guys to read that. But basically doing very well against Bitcoin. Token's up 59% over the last 30 days. And it's about 8% away from all-time highs, which is pretty incredible, when you look at the current conditions of the market. I want to jump over to his video and listen to what he had to say here, because he was doing a comparison directly against Uniswap.
For the first time. Notably, GMX earned about $1.15 million in daily trading fees on the 28th of November, last time we had this measurement, which surpassed Uniswap's $1.06 million in trading fees on the same day. Yes, this is a point in time, but this is a trend, whereas, again, it's come out of obscurity and has gone after the 800-pound gorilla in the space, Uniswap. Let's look at some other data on this. You can see here, DEXs are definitely winning market share with the fallout from FTX and complete lack of trust with all centralized exchanges in the wake of this huge black swan event. But here, the decentralized exchange revenue rose by 107% to $5 million in November, boosted by a 128% increase in annualized trading volume and a 31% rise in daily active users. That is very, very big in a month. In comparison, Uniswap's annualized revenue increased by about 75% and daily active users by 8%. So it's kind of, Uniswap is falling behind GMX, and the GMX growth is very, very vertical. So with that,
all right, so what James is hitting on there, I think we've talked about this over the past few months. DEX is winning the potential here for what's happening. Listening to what has happened around GMX, I feel like this is one of those tokens that we probably need to go ahead and get into our CPI. I'd love to get your feedback. Drop some comments down below because I think a lot is getting ready to shake loose with Avalanche. I'm very keen on where they may be going next, because if this kind of partnership is in play, then you see kind of this additional tier going into the decentralized exchange space. Now all of a sudden, Avalanche starts to build a bit of an arsenal to be able to go out and really start to partner with others. It's like what happened with Polygon is they got a deal, then another deal, and then the next thing you know, more people wanted to work with them. This could be on the brink of what's happening with Avalanche. So we're going to be watching this one very closely. Just a quick look at AVAX on the chart. You saw the nice little run up here, obviously the fall. Let's take a look quickly what that was, and that was from the 14th of December down to right around here. That was a 23% drop, and then all of a sudden, boom, Avalanche starts moving, and we see a nice almost 12% if you were to sell that, and currently right now running at about almost 10%. So not a bad little move for Avalanche. Again, this could be still very, very early with what we may see in terms of results around Avalanche and some of its aligned partners. Thinking about Joe, look at what we talked about with GMX, etc. So a lot here going on Avalanche for sure, I think, in terms of short term. All right, guys, if you are not joined into the Diamond Circle, get in. It's a really easy tool set. We send out an email a couple times a week. Keeps you updated on everything. Just, click the link below, sign up. It's free. And then number one, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's just at Paul Barron. Go out there, click follow, drop in a note or a tweet at me. I'd love to kind of engage with you guys. And I try to get to as many DMs as I can. I know I can't answer every question. Try to get some of those in on our live streams or through our Diamond Circle or ramping up into our mastermind group. But anyway, you guys, if you want to reach me out there, you know where it is. It's out there on Twitter, at Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.